what's up, guys? Mystic Shot Podcast. This is look at Swerve up there.
we're coming to the point where this is gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna help him out. I'm not gonna help him out.
Wow, you're not even gonna help him out. Wait. So I'm gonna have to be like this?
Yeah. No, I'm not helping the man out.
So
he do the rest.
So when I get to 10, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Well, 10, he can still do 10 on his own. He just can't go past 10. It becomes harder when he gets past 10.
No, I know, but when he hits 10 and I hit 10, then you're gonna help, right?
No.
What's the matter with you?
All right,
I never agreed to this hand who the food shoes.
All right, this is episode 9.
If people want to see the number, they can see the number of the podcast.
It's episode 9 of the Mystic Shot Podcast, guys. Welcome. So how's everybody feeling?
All good. Yeah, getting by, surviving.
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm pretty okay right now. Yeah. I've been playing some Lee Sin. You know how it is.
Yeah, you would do that. You would do that.
To be fair, he's really good at the moment. He's really good at the moment, so I can understand why.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying it. Like I said before, for podcast, I was making a few weird decks, but I ended up ending with the Elysian Katarina Draven deck. I don't know why I want to play Katarina and Elysian deck. It just seems so strong. I don't know why. It's because
of the rally. It's because of the rally. That's what makes it. Because obviously you can get 2 kicks out of one Lee Sin attack forward, and it works really. It's the whole reason why. Also, there's I was playing a deck with Lee Sin and Demacia, so that there was the rally in there, then throwing a bit of Shen in because of the bubbles that are also, or the barriers that are also in. Being the fact that you can get widget barriers out, so yeah. It's rally with Lee Sin is also really powerful, as well as the overwhelm with Lee Sin. I mean, I can currently see that Swerve is slowly but surely hating every second of this because he hates Lee Sin. I'm seeing this. In the back, is just shaking his head at the back.
Yeah, I just my thoughts are why would you play Katarina when you can just play Shun Po?
I play one Shumpo. I'll show you guys the list. I play one Shumpo. One Shumpo, one Katarina, 2 Draven, 3 Lee Sin.
Katarina makes sense as well, just because of the fact that just the same way that Draven makes sense with Lee Sin is the fact that his spell then means that you can grant challenge onto somebody, like the Sonic Wave, and the fact that they've got quick attack, you can either use it on Draven or use it on Katarina, and you can make sure that you're killing something as well as kicking something into the Nexus with Lee Sin. So I mean, it's just it works with the rally and everything like that. I can understand how that deck can work.
No, it was a pretty fun deck. I have a few wins under my belt with that deck so far, and it's also a really fun deck to play, to be honest. But yeah, we can talk about our new section. We calling it the meta snapshot. So has everybody been playing ladder or
the meta mystic shot?
Exactly. I mean,
mystic snapshot.
Meta's actually all over the place at this moment in time compared to previous things. Like I said, but that's not a bad thing. But meta is all over the place at this moment in time with just the amount of things that are kind of viable. There are still things which are making their way through more. Like I said, Pyro aggro is definitely making its way through a lot more than most things. Reminds me, in Hearthstone.
Oh God!
There was legitimately a time where Pirate Warrior was the only thing on the ladder. Really powerful. It made me. I hadn't even thought about it before, but the fact that obviously now Pirate aggro is a thing in this, it just made me, oh my God, Pirate Warrior in Hearthstone. Like how history repeats itself.
This is not history repeating itself, by the way.
It is, mate. You have no idea.
Hearthstone and Runeterra, albeit, are both card games, right? But So Hearthstone and Runeterra they're like Back to the Future or the show Lost, if you've ever watched that. They're like two separate timelines, right? And they're doing two different things, and Hearthstone sucks.
Yikes. Yeah,
you know, I lost where I was going with that, so I just had to be like, well, Hearthstone.
How many times have you played Hearthstone?
I have played Hearthstone probably for a whopping total of an hour and 10 minutes.
Then you cannot say these things. I can. I've been there for 4 years. Yes, Hearthstone does suck, but I've earned the right to be able to say that. You have not earned the rights.
Hey, damn.
I was there.
Card revolt.
Card revolt.
You activated my trap card.
So I was discussing with Gomez before we started recording, and my feelings about this meta is it's so incredibly vast, and you know, this is, once again, I talk about my personal standpoint with this game a lot, and it really comes down to me being annoyed by how vast it is, because you know, you pick your list that you want to play, and
check it twice.
You check it twice, exactly. you refine it, and you get it down to a point where it's, you know, the strongest it can be, and you know, you put yourself onto the ladder, and even if your list is a strong matchup, you know, where you have, you know, good matchups against like 80% of the decks you're going to run into, you know, I'm just kind of pulling numbers out of my butt, but you know, even that is not good enough. I think where it makes climbing on the ladder really kind of, you know, it's a battle of attrition, and it's always going to be a grind, right? It's going to be a grind, but it's frustrating because, you know, it's so vast, and even if you have all these good matchups, the times where you draw crappy and your opponent draws really nutty in your good matchups, like, it just, you're so like kind of locked into like that 55 to 60% win rate, even with your strongest lists, and even if you're playing perfectly, and it's just like, oh, the grind is like, you have to love the game. You have to love the game if you're gonna climb, and you have to have fun. And that's what Gomez was saying. Like, he doesn't care about climbing, and I think that's overall the mentality you need to have to climb, is like, I'm just gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and so
I learned that lesson in Hearthstone, my friend. that's where that lesson was learned.
You gotta love it, right?
Because there's obviously climbing to legend in Hearthstone. I hit legend a few times, but like the wanting to do that is just like, you know, if you just focus purely on that and you're just continuously playing this, because obviously like you're playing like the same deck again and again and again and again most of the time, you just get worn out, and it's just like it's also like mentally you get like a bit destroyed as well, especially when you start seeing it that you've been doing well and then you start losing game after game after game. It's just like all that progress is lost. You just have to watch it. You just have to like, second that you start losing a few games, it's like, okay, right, it's gonna turn it off for a little bit, gonna go do something else, because you're not in the right mental space anymore. And that's the thing of it, is that the second that you lose that mental edge, you gotta be like, okay, gonna take a break, wash some dishes, cook myself dinner, then maybe get back on. It's just taking the time to take that separation, not thinking that, like, because I know that like in your head you're thinking, well, I gotta get this done now. Like, the more I put in this, the more hours I put into this, the better the more I'm gonna climb. It doesn't always work like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it happened yesterday. I refined down a Shen Fiora list, and it performed really well yesterday for me. I think I was 5-1, and then this morning I woke up and you guys were not with me for some reason. Everybody was asleep. Gomez was just ignoring me like I'm some redheaded stepchild or something. So I was like, I'll play a couple of ranked games. I went 0-3. It's like,
it happens. See, the thing of it is that I don't actually know what ladder I prefer in terms of, so in a manner of speaking, I do like, because what I mean is like, so in Hearthstone you actually start to get a win bonus after a time. So once you win 2 matches in a row, after that, every single win you get actually gives you an additional star or an additional. So basically, so in that, it's kind of the same in that. So each rank has 5 stars, and so you got to get through everything which you need to get like 5 wins in each rank to go up the next rank. Blah 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 blah. So it's kind of like LP, and that, like, you know, I think that at this moment in time, most of the wins it's like 20 LP per win. So it's yet again like 5 games to go up to another rank.
There's one system in place when it comes to LP, and I feel like what you just mentioned should probably get put in place for the entire ladder. So if you were Masters in a previous season, this doesn't apply to you. But if you were Diamond or below, then so once the new season starts, you know, if you're Diamond, you get put down to Gold, but you'll get extra LP per win, and you'll lose less LP per loss. I believe is exactly how it works. And you know, that system remains in place until you get back to one tier below your status. So like you'll climb super fast through Gold, but then you'll hit Plat and you won't have your bonus anymore. And I think that should happen. And what you mentioned about wins in a row, like that should get put in place for our Runeterra ladder, because if I go, you know, 4 wins in a row, like obviously I'm playing great. My hidden MMR should be higher than most of my opponents, right?
Yeah.
I would really like to see a system like that get put into.
Well, I said that was the system that was in Hearthstone. So literally, that's why it felt like the climb was a little bit easier in Hearthstone. Is the fact that like literally once you get on that win streak, it's just like boom, every single time I win, I'm actually going up. Like, so it's the equivalent of almost playing 2 games for every win. So you're just like boom, you just start like you can actually get up very fast. And it's the same kind of principle as in Runeterra, where like so. Whereas in Runeterra, like once you hit platinum, once you hit a new thing like gold, platinum, whatever the hell, like you stay there. It was every 5 levels in there. So once you hit 10, you can no longer go back down to 11, or once you hit 5, you can no longer go back down to 6. So it was a similar thing for that, but it was nice just to actually your win rate was actually rewarded in that game, and that's one thing I will say that I did actually enjoy about there's very few things now that I enjoyed about Hearthstone, but that was one of the things that I did, was the fact that your win rate actually did help with like climbing, because you did feel like, okay, right, so I'm starting to get like a positive win rate, I'm getting like really good, and that streak is carrying on, and it's actually helping me actually climb faster. But...
yeah, Riot has the same system in place in League of Legends. You know, if you're winning a lot, you get rewarded for it. Your MMR, you get more LP per win if your MMR is higher than the average MMR of the rank you're at. So I'd really like to see something like that get put into place, because you know you can do like I did and go 4-1, but then if you go 0-3, you're just at the same spot you started. So all of that greatness that you had achieved previously is just down the toilet.
It definitely sucks. The having once you get a few wins and then you lose equal to the amount of wins, it definitely does suck. 100%. Yep. I feel like they could very easily implement something like that, where it's like you gain, like maybe not extra star, maybe not like extra stars or anything like that, but like a little bit of extra rank in comparable to how much you win and stuff like that.
Well, no, that's what it would be. It would be extra rank. The only reason why I said stars is because that's how it's done in Hearthstone. Is that it's a star tier is that's how you, instead of like seeing like an LP thing, in terms of like saying you got like 20, you've got 40 or whatnot. It was just, there's 5 stars. Every single time you win, you get a star, and every single time you lose a star. So it's the same. It's the same principle. It's just that's the reason I said stars, is because that's how. That's what it was in that game.
So, but, I would be fine with it not being like. I would be fine with a system where you're not getting like 2 wins per win or something like that, but you know, like 1.3 wins, 1.2 wins or something. We're just. You just, if you're winning more, you have a slight edge to climb. Just slight, not 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, like the people at the top of our community, they really just make it seem like it's so easy to climb. I'd be like, it really depends on what deck you're playing. Like, to be honest, don't get me wrong. I mean, back when, let's say for instance, when Ezreal Carmen was like one of the, like, it wasn't the best deck, but it was like, it was a good deck to climb with because like nothing countered it. So basically, it was like only like aggro decks really even had a chance of beating it. So like in a meta like that, of course it's easy to climb. But when the meta is like super diverse and you don't really know what decks you're playing against, it's really hard to climb.
Well, there's a second factor. Go ahead, Gomez. I'll jump in after.
I was going to say that there is actually a little bit extra to climbing if you actually really want to climb. Is that I think that even Swim mentioned it in one of his latest videos. Is that like the way in Masters, if they want to climb up very quickly, is just literally wait until a certain time, because at a certain time most players are because it's all region locked.
True.
So if you're now playing at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like AM, there's not many people online. So either you get paired up with people who are very low down, low tier, so that like you can get some easy wins, or it's even AI games because they have to pair you with somebody. If they can't pair you with somebody, it's an AI game. So like that's another way of climbing, is that you just have to wake up at stupid o'clock and then just like do some games. You could potentially rank up through that because there's not as many people online.
Wait.
They think you against AI? I've never heard that.
Facts. Same. I've never heard that.
I've never heard about.
I've never seen it either.
A ranked game being stuck against AI. Because what the fuck time do I need to set my alarm for?
Smurf is like, shit, that's all I need to hear.
I definitely feel like that's a thing, because if there's not many people playing, everyone's in a, because I know that there's always going to be people playing at certain times, because obviously there are people who also do cross shard things. There's going to be people who are technically in one shard, but they've got an account on a different one, like so they're North America, but then they've got an account that's a European one or whatnot. So you are going to see people, but if there's nobody they can match you up against, they've got to give you something, because you can only wait for so long.
I did not know that. I will.
I mean, look into it, because I might just be talking complete bollocks, which wouldn't surprise me. I talk a lot of bollocks, but it's something to look into. But that's like Swim was definitely saying in one of his latest videos that sometimes you just wake up at a certain time of night and you just get put against like the most low tier people, because that's all that's online at the time or whatnot.
Just like I said, just tell me what time I gotta set my alarm for. I will play against those monkeys. I swear. But my addition to the reason why a lot of the big content creators are saying that it's easy to climb, because it's really easy to climb when you have the time. That's what I'm gated by right now, and I'm all three of us are relatively of the casual, like somewhat like pro-am, I guess you could say, like I
think we dip all three of us into like the pool of like being pro, kinda, but like not, we don't have our whole bodies in it. Like we know like we know things about, we know more than average, I believe, about Runeterra, but I feel I
feel like you can stick any three of us against Swim, against Grappler, against Mogwai, and this is not like downplaying them at all. They're fantastic players and great content creators, but I feel like most of the time we could go 50-50 against them at the very least, or beat them out plenty of times. Hey, pat ourselves on the back about this, but I personally, and I always do this with personal stuff, I'm gated by time, and when it comes to ranking up in a ladder like this, it does get to be a little bit frustrating when you're of the casual players that have climbed before. So it's really about, you can climb, you got to put the games in, though. You have to put the games in, and you have to consistently make the right decisions as you play.
Wait, so to be honest, I was trying to make a video about
Hello, Queen Mapage, thanks for the follow.
I was trying to make a video about how long it takes to get to masters, and I don't really have like a time, like it's and how many games, like it's just a lot.
It depends on your start. It depends on your starting place as well, because I mean, if you're starting from one of the lower ranks, because obviously the second that you get yourselves into master, then once you fall down, you only fall down to platinum.
True.
Like, so that's what I mean. So it's not only saying like it can only take a certain time to get the masters. It depends on where you're starting from.
True.
So
true.
Like, and you can, depending on how good you are at playing, like, you know, you could potentially just burn through those first couple of ranks. Like, you can probably get yourself into gold or platinum quite easily if, like, if you can at least play like to a somewhat standard degree. But it's once you get into that like kind of like plat diamond, that's when it becomes a little bit harder, because you've got a bunch of people who are in the same kind of boat as you, where they know how to play, they're good at playing, and so it's just trying to like how you draw and everything. It just becomes almost like a 50-50 once you get into those kind of bits, and if the win rate's just not in your favor, if you're not what you said, it happens.
Yeah,
it can take time.
I believe like once you start hitting like high plat, definitely diamond, like I don't know about you guys, it was 50-50 with diamond, like completely. It was like I would win 10 games and lose 15. Like there's no in between.
I was gonna say that's not 50-50.
like there's no in between there. Like at diamond it's 50-50, like completely. Like you could win or lose depending on your draws. But I feel like high plat, that's when it started to like even out to 50-50, because like you start versing more people that are like either closer to your skill level, or like sometimes they could be above your skill level. Like they could just know more about the game, just period. So I feel like high plat into diamond is usually where you start versing those kind of people. But low plat or like gold, like
I mean, if you really want to climb, there's
you just
like
get right through it.
Yeah, if you really want to climb, there's like 3 or 4 like main ingredients that you got to put into your soup. You know, you need time is one. You need to have plenty of time to climb and play enough games. 2, mental. Like you need to be like prepared to make the climb and reduce mistakes. Right? Like you need, like that's really what it's about. Like it's not really about like so much as making great plays. Like you need that too. That's 3. So there's like mental and reducing mistakes and making great plays, and then 4, you got to be bringing a list that can compete. Like it's probably like those are like the main ingredients to climbing on the ladder in Runeterra, in any game really, honestly. Reducing mistakes I think is the most important part of those 4.
Yeah,
because you can climb with some janky lists, so it's not always about bringing the best deck.
I would say before Targon got involved, I would say that like if you wanted to climb your best route is going down an aggro deck, just because the fact that it becomes time management. So an aggro deck normally you can win by turn 5 or 6, like potentially if you're drawing right. So it becomes time like boom, get that one out of the way, next match, boom, get that one out of the way, next match. Targon's made that slightly harder with the amount of heals that it gives you. I mean, I know that Shadow Isles always had heals, but just there's a little bit more that gets involved with Targon now, which just means that it can beat off most of that kind of aggro play. Which is things like Hush to stop the overwhelm. Things like, I mean, there's certain things that have made it slightly harder to go down that route. So that's another reason why climbing is a little bit harder, is the fact that normally it would just be boom, play aggro deck, get in there, smash those matches out, smash those wins out. But yeah, that's the one thing I would say. Before Targon, I'd say if you really wanted to climb, most likely do an aggro deck. You'll eventually end up just like hating the game and hating yourself in terms of just the fact that it would just be the same thing again and again and again. Like in terms of like there'd be no changing it up, because you don't really have to change it up with a deck like that. It's just literally just go face, as it were, which could like a swag go face.
Yep.
But
just keep punching them.
You'll
get them eventually. Just keep punching them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no,
that's the same in any. That's the same in any kind of game where there's a ladder. Just like aggro tends to do better, just because of the fact that it is time management, and so the quickness and speed that can get up, then boom, you into the next match, you into the next match, you into the next match. So that's the thing when it comes to climbing.
Yeah, it gets decided.
That can be a thing.
With aggro, it gets decided really fast. Either you're gonna win this in 5 turns, or you're about to lose this in 5 turns. Like there's no in between.
The second you run out of cards, the second you run out of steam, it's done.
It's done. Exactly.
Yeah, oh, you drew 2 avalanches? Okay. I quit.
Yeah. I quit. Yep. Yeah. It's over.
Next game.
Yep. Oh, you have Withering Whale and Avalanche?
Sometimes that is actually a thing, because obviously, like, because I'm more playing for fun than all about trying to play for, like, just like, you never know, heart the card, Yugi. Exactly. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, that's so true.
I always stay in the game to the end. I don't concede.
Yeah, that's so
people
true.
Who are climbing faster, you'll just see, boom, the second that an avalanche or something hit they just instantly surrender the game, because they know, right, this game's done. There's no point in me continue. Like, I mean, they just move on to the next one. It's just all about a time management thing, and so it depends. It depends on if that's the route you want to take. Then yeah, that's the kind of mentality that you need to start having. It's just not my mentality personally.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I find that kind of hard.
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like with this game, I feel like it's kind of hard for you to have that like they make it really hard for you to have the mentality of where you just want to get to Masters. Like they make that really hard because they give you all the cards for free, and then they say, "Here, play." So it's kind of hard for you to have the mentality of like, "Oh, I just want to play the best deck. Yeah, I just want to play the best deck and make it to Masters, guys." Like it's kind of hard. You just want to have fun, like, because you have all the cards. So like, what are you grinding mad hard for? And it's not like in like League where they give out like free, like they give out skins, like they give out victorious skins for making it to higher ranks. Like in Runeterra, they don't give out anything other than like an icon. Yeah, that's it. So it's like you're not really missing out on anything. And sometimes the other ranks be looking better than Masters. So like, you're not missing out on much. Like honestly.
Do you think that maybe moving forward it would be really cool? And you know, I would think this. Yeah, if master tier players were given a board every season.
Yes. That would give a lot of incentive that would give more incentive to get to Masters.
Well, I mean, the incentive is the things that they're currently doing now, like what they've done with the tournaments. Like, so it's kind of like Hearthstone did the same thing. I hate saying like I have to keep going back there, but it's the only frame of reference I do. So the top people in Legend, they kept like Blizzard monitored that and was like, okay, right, so this person is continuously hitting between like these points in like the things. So like they're always top 20 in Masters or in Legend type thing. So it's like, boom, invite them to the tournament, because obviously Blizzard had like BlizzCon and things like that. So it's just like, yeah, monitor our top Masters, which are our top Legend players, and then throw them into a tournament, and we'll put a lot of money in there. Like it's an incentive for people to be continuously trying to get up there and trying to build their reputation, because they will then get invites to, like I said, the big man tournaments. That's your incentive, and obviously Riot's starting to do that now by them saying, okay, right, the top people we're gonna start monitoring the top people from different countries. We're gonna start putting you into tournaments, so that I don't know.
Yeah, but how?
That's the incentive.
I was looking at that and I was just like, how would they implement that in NA though? Because then it would be like they would have to invite 1 or 2 people from every state. Like that's a lot of people.
Maybe just one.
Maybe.
Could
but
be.
Is that's like at least 50 people there.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people for one tournament.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I mean, that can get whittled down
or something.
That can get whittled down very quickly.
You think?
I mean,
in like single matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, what you could you just do like knockout, and literally that number can get like, rather than doing Swiss where you're like going against like 8 different people and whatnot, just straight up knockout in terms of this person's against this person. If they get knocked out, boom, they're out. And to the next one, like you could actually like it sounds more surprising than.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds more surprising than you realize. But
you can do it by regions too. Like you can do like New England, and then you know, thankfully you and I wouldn't play against each other, right?
Nah. I see Swerve. I'm like, oh what? I know he's about to have Shumpo in all his decks.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do that because most of the time they only let you have one like region. Like you can only have. You can't come to the tournament with like 3 decks all with Noxus. You can't do that. That's not how the tournaments work. You can only have one deck.
Find a way to play Shumpo in a
tournament deck.
I will find a way.
Oh no, you can totally put it in a tournament deck. I'm just saying they wouldn't be in every single one of your decks because the way that tournaments work is that you can only have you can have like 3 decks, but you can like
you can't repeat
once
regions,
you use you can't repeat regions.
Yeah. Nah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's the Conquest format, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's the most fair, best format I've seen for card game, such as Runeterra or Magic and. What's the card game called? I can't remember it.
But yeah, so basically you get this Conquest.
Barfstone. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so Conquest obviously is the best one because it's forcing you to use those different decks. Because once you get a win, then you can't use that deck again. So you have to make sure that you're bringing balanced decks. The other type of tournament is called King of the Hill, whereby once a deck wins, you continuously use that deck until it's beaten, and then you fight those are the 2 different like ways that tournaments normally run. It's either King of the Hill or Conquest, and obviously Conquest is the better one because at least you get to see more variation and it is a bit fairer on your opponent. Because at least if you win with one deck, you've got to win with another deck.
Yeah,
you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
We gotta get to pick a card here, boys.
True.
Okay.
True.
We're gonna get there. Okay.
I was
talk about a tangent. Oh boy.
No, that wasn't even a tangent. Like we started talking about the meta first, but then we kind of. I mean, it was a little bit of a tangent, but we kind of started talking about like what it means to ladder, and that is important to talk about. Like even from a standpoint of like casual, especially. No. Let me take that back. Especially if you're casual, because you really time management is everything when it comes to laddering up when you're casual, to be honest. Like it's not that big of a deal, but you don't want to be like wasting your time. Like no one wants to waste their time, so it is a big deal, and that does go together with like the meta and stuff like that. So but yeah, we can get to pick a card. So we're gonna go first. I went first last week.
I'll do it.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
All right. I'm bringing back an ancient evil in my favorite card of the week. And it was Deny. Deny at 4 mana.
You don't like Deny?
No, it's my favorite card
this week. I was like, damn.
Deny has been chilling. Cause like. And I haven't been playing Lee Sin because everybody knows that anybody that plays Lee Sin is a bad person. So
wow, it's like that.
I mean, I was gonna say to Deny, you've been seeing more play because it did actually lose kind of play. People weren't playing it as much. But Deny has actually seen a resurgence, obviously because of Lee Sin and because people are now starting to play a little bit more Ionia. Deny is such a good card, especially against cards like the obliterate cards that you see in Tarkon, and also I said when you just use it against revitalizing Raw when somebody's trying to do that. I mean, it's a really Deny, really powerful card because obviously there was becoming a point where people were just putting maybe 1 or 2 copies of it, but now a lot of people are putting 3 copies of Deny in their decks whenever they're running Ionia, which is good. It works at the moment. Everything is going down.
Yeah, denying the Zenith Blade, which is a big issue with the Lee Sin decks. They got to get that overwhelm. Great against Targon, like you said, the obliterate cards. It's great against in the mirror match, right? Of any Ionia deck. It's been really fantastic for me lately. This past week, it's been really fun. There was one instance where I was against Lee Sin, and I had 2 denies in hand, and I went in with a lethal swing, and I denied 2 concussive whatever.
Oh, concussive
palm. Yeah, I denied 2 of those and pushed the lethal through. I gave him the Yasuo emote. I did the right thing. Gomez, don't worry. I did the right thing.
Good.
You're not right now. You're dead. So that was denied really great for me.
You did the Yasuo emote. He did the concussive palm. You did deny. He did second concussive palm. You Yasuo emote him again.
Deny. Yeah, no, I Yasuo him like 3 times in a row, like really quick, and then I hit him with the Lulu Juicy, like this is a juicy turn. Bang.
Damn. Yeah. Feels bad.
So that was good. My least favorite card this week has been Guided Touch.
Yo, you know what?
Drawing heels. How dare they?
You know what? I kind of agree with you there. Yo, it does a lot. Like, it does a lot.
It does. It is. I put it maybe not like so. So if Stalking Shadows was like S tier of bullshit, right? Like,
what?
Then Guided Touches. Damn. You know, because Stalking Shadow is like, what the fuck, right? Like that card is bonkers.
Yeah, no value. Great value.
Can heal anything. Draw a card. Oh, by the way, it activates Nightfall and activates this and gives my Lee Sin a barrier or challenger. Like, screw that card.
And it's burst for whatever reason.
Why not?
That burst speed when you think you've got lethal and then they just heal themselves up, draw a card, then draw another Guiding Touch, and just heal themselves up again. It's just like
no lie. You know, like I'm on the wave where there shouldn't be any burst speed heals. I don't think there should.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
No, I would disagree with that.
I don't know about exactly that, right? But like, when a card is doing that many things, right? I feel like knocking it down to fast could bring it into a more of a fair play line. If you know, when it's drawing you a card and healing.
Yeah.
Burst speed, it seems very fair. You know, I don't like it. But like burst speed card drawing is, in my opinion, really frustrating to play against. I don't know.
I know, but I personally I like that kind of thing because it gives you more options. Like I'm saying if you're playing it, I mean, yeah, it's annoying when you're playing against it, but
yeah.
When you're playing it, it's just because like that kind of burst speed, so then you actually get a draw and then get to see, okay, right, is this actually going to help me? Like so I can then play something then afterwards, rather than playing something and then having to wait, see. I don't know. I mean, sometimes, believe it or not, it's actually a detriment that it's burst speed and whatnot. Because sometimes you want to, you actually want to play something that makes your opponent do something, which then means that they've got less mana, which then means that your next move is going to be better. Whereas obviously if you do that, then you don't get they don't get a turn until you've played something. I don't like sometimes. Believe it or not, it can be detrimental.
You can burst pass. So you can burst pass. If you play a burst speed card, you can pass, and then it
I know you can pass. I'm just saying that sometimes you actually want something so that you look like you've done something, and then okay, right. So what I'm trying to say is that if you do a burst speed then pass, or if you do nothing and pass, then your opponent goes, okay, he's got something, he's hiding something. Whereas if you've actually had to play something, then it's just like, okay, that could have just been a turn. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that the second that you burst past, somebody's just like,
that guy probably didn't get anything good.
That's like, that's a bit suspicious. Like they were talking about Among Us, that's a bit sus.
Yeah.
Like he's got something. I mean, sus. And the thing of it is that then, yeah, if it's your attack turn, but you're waiting for something that you want to play, like, I don't know, like you got like a Ruination or something. Like there's things like you're like, I wanted to play more onto that ball because if I play my Ruination now, he's got full mana, so he's just gonna fill up. Like I don't know, there's like certain things like that where it's just like, okay, I want to play something which makes it look like I'm doing something, which then makes him play something big, Like for example, today I had a game like that. Okay, I was playing against a guy who was playing Sejuani and Swain, and he had Swain in hand, and I know that because he played Leviathan, so he had Swain in his hand. I was like, so he had Leviathan and Sejuani on the board with like something else. And I was just like, oh, I really want a Ruination here, but I want him to play that Swain first. But if I just pass, then he could just pass himself and just go straight into the attack turn, and then like obviously he's got the benefits of the attack turn because he's going to be attacking me with the Leviathan, and then he's got Sejuani and Leviathan that he's got Overwhelm on me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's certain things where you just want to play something small so that you can still play that, which then forces them to play like their Swain and whatnot. Then you go, ha! Ruination! Everything's dead on the board. Good day. But yeah, no, it's that kind of, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it can be detrimental, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It can like mess up. It can, like, when you want to mind game your opponent, it's kind of hard to mind game with a burst. You can't mind game with a burst. It's like, oh, I activated this. There you go.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
We the people.
Yeah, what's up?
Talk us about your favorite card.
Oh, my favorite card for the week. So, I told you guys earlier, I was playing a weird deck. I think it's a weird deck. I don't
think it's that weird. It actually sounds quite legit. In all honesty, I don't see the weirdness in it.
Really? I mean,
Rally with Lee Sing, it makes complete sense. So,
I mean, before
Rally with Lee Sing, plus the fact that you've got him in Noxus so that he's got Might or Overwhelm anyway. There's nothing that doesn't make sense about that.
Yeah, true. No, you're right. But before I had made the Lee Sin deck, I went on Mobalytics a little bit just to see like what kind of Lee Sin decks everybody was playing. I didn't really see people were playing it more with Targon, but I guess Hush is just broken, so there's that. But but I put my deck with Noxus and I played Katarina. So, but my favorite card for the week was Kato, 100%.
Oh yeah,
baby. That granted Overwhelm. Yeah. I can see that.
He was putting in work. Yo, you play that Lee Sin, play that Kato next turn. It's like, okay, what's up?
No, I get it.
You about to end the game.
I'm about to end this man's career. But yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, nah. Kato was definitely putting in a lot of work. And then if you don't really want to save him because like he's a big bulky unit anyways. Like say for instance, if you don't have anything on board, he's still a 5. I think he's a 5'6", I believe.
5'4".
5'4". Oh 5'4", yeah. He's still bulky though. He could take a hit. So like even
if you hit, but you don't really want to be putting him into a trade where you know he's gonna die.
Oh yeah,
because especially if you know that you've got like a Lee Sin in hand or something like that. What I'm trying to say is like if it's your opponent's attack turn or whatnot, or if you're just using it on like a little minion, you kind of want to keep it back for something because it's +3 plus Overwhelm is what he's supporting. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like he's a big man who can take a bit, but he still is not invincible.
Yeah.
So.
No. He's not invincible or anything. But like, when you combine him with when you give another unit with another keyword Overwhelm, like it is like the opponent is stressing. Like when you give Katarina Overwhelm and then you use Sonic Wave on her and give her Challenger on top of that, bruh.
Yeah.
That feels that is crazy. Like you're about to put in so much damage, and on top of that, you're about to probably get another attack because you play her again anyways. So it's like it's just crazy. And also, wait, I don't know if this is a thing, but like when you play Katarina with Kato, and then say for instance you have enough mana to play her again, she still has Overwhelm. So is Kato's effect for the turn or for the battle? I never.
Well, once she gets recalled, she should.
It's a support ability, but she recalls, goes back to 4/3 if she's leveled, and then you drop her back down, and you can give her Overwhelm and 3 again.
Yeah, but Kato's got to survive for that.
Right.
Yeah.
She doesn't just have Overwhelm immediately once you play her the second time, like in terms of once she goes back to your hand. stats kind of go back to standard. So you got to make sure Kato's going to survive so that she will get the overwhelm again. Technically, sometimes though, just the attack forward with her depend on how devastating your attack was the first time round. Can cripple your opponent anyway.
I've been getting some crazy games. But least favorite card. To be honest, I'm gonna stay in the same region. On the ladder, I've been seeing a lot of Ashe Sejuani actually. I've been like a good amount of my games have been Ashe Sejuani, so
not been seeing much of her.
Culling Strike.
Not been seeing much of her. Culling Strike is devastating,
man.
Oh my God.
It hurts.
Culling Strike when that does hit after they've just frostbitten.
Play that Lee Sin. Culling Strike. That is painful. Oh my goodness, it's so painful. I don't think that card is balanced though. Card is balanced. It does what it needs to do. It's 3 mana, fast speed, kill a 3 less card. It does what it's supposed to do. But it just
you still
hurts.
hate it.
It just hurts.
You're still allowed to hate it.
You can get around it. That's the thing. That's why it's not too bad. Is that it can be got around, especially with Lee Sin's like new spell. Is that like if you've got the mana for it, you can increase the attack up. Like so obviously, if you've got 3 mana, give something challenge, and then +2, you can actually just get in past it. But it does require you obviously to have the which is the thing. But that's what actually makes him like Lee Sin like really good now. Like even if he does get frostbitten, if you know that's what kind of deck you're against, you can actually throw that on top of him, which would require them to have another frostbite on top. So he's at least going to have that +2. So he would still be kicking something into the Nexus if he's leveled up. So he's not going to potentially kill, but at least he'll knock it back in their hand. I don't know. It's not as bad as just a straight up like his old slow speed spell for 7.
My goodness.
You know, at least you got a chance with the one that he's got at the moment.
Before it felt bad. Like when you I don't know if you guys ever watch Magwa's old video when he first made a Lee Sin deck. He was just like, yo, it just like he only wants to play 2 Lee Sins because if you draw the second Lee Sin, it just feels bad in your hand.
Yep.
It just feels terrible. Like
a lot of people were cutting Zeds and Zed decks down to a 2 of or maybe even a 1 of sometimes because that spell sucks. You know, when the spell just sucks.
Yeah, when the champion spell sucks, when it's kind of hard to play like multiples. I kind of felt the same way about Katarina. That's why I cut her down to 1, because like playing at first I was playing 3 Katarina and 3 Lee Sin, and I just double drew Katarina, and I was like, yo, this spell's trash. Like, what am I supposed to do?
What was because I was gonna say because I have not played Katarina in so long, I cannot actually remember what her spell is.
It's the one that does 1 damage.
Deal 1 damage. But I mean, it depends on what you're against. But I mean, like potential guillotine, like having a couple of copies of guillotine, that actually can be slightly useful to maybe like kill
your
right. Opponent's cards. I don't know.
Could slot that in, but
or a glint horn. that card's funny, man.
I was also thinking about slotting in Ravenous Flock, because if you're gonna be doing 1 damage to everything, then you probably be able to kill something. But I think it's a lot of synergy with Lee Sin, because you know he's getting barrier, so it's like he gets the barrier and then the Katarina card just pops it. So it's like, what's the point?
I can see that.
It's a lot of synergy, so that's why I just cut it down to 1. Because I mean, you want her for the rally.
but technically, if Lee Sin's kicking somebody into the Nexus anyway, if he's leveled up, then the barrier doesn't really matter.
I mean, but you can.
If he's not leveled, obviously, it does. But I mean, if he's leveled, then the barrier actually becomes a bit.
I mean, but
it helps against removal.
Yeah, I mean, you can use him to trade though. That's what I've been using for like before he levels. I can get that barrier in mid fight and then be able to trade with things. Yeah. He's a trading monster. He's kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like Braum, because like Braum was just like crazy, but I think his power level is like if I were to rank him with the champions, I'd probably say he's like maybe right under Elise. Like I rate Elise as like an A tier. She's like an A tier champion. So like Lee Sin's like an A tier champion now. I don't think he's S though. Yeah. I don't think he's S tier. Like Braum with 1 point of attack was S tier in my opinion. Like, to be honest,
I mean, with
like,
gems and whatnot, with gems you can just grant it to him. I mean, like, Braum can be what he was.
I mean, true.
The issue and the reason why the Lee Sin Targan deck is like quadruple S tier is because the synergies are so easy and consistent to get, and that's why like a lot of people like yeah, Lee Sin by himself in a vacuum sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the easy burst speed spells are kind of crazy, and I would really like to see Riot maybe make gems not grant and just do for this turn only, because you know, the Lee Sin deck's like, oh, I got 8 gems in my hand, I'll my Lee Sin up for next turn.
Yeah, true. I give you that.
I don't know. I think it should be a temporary, a give, not a grant.
They plus side with the way that gems are at this moment in time, as well as the fact that Lee Sin, like, if you go for an open attack, he can't just use those gems to barrier up, because obviously it can't be used as a response to an attack. Yeah. So that's the only plus side. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that there's not other spells that are going to come up that's going to give him barrier, but I mean, it's like he can't use gems to help it out.
Yeah.
Alright.
But anyway,
that was my stuff for the week.
Well, good. Okay, so favorite card of the week: Snapvine. Snapvine, about a shadow of a doubt, overgrown Snapvine. The amount of banter that can be had with that now, because
you're gonna send me a list.
I was playing a deck that one of my viewers actually, which is like Crazy Killer, sent me, and you know what? It's just so fun. So it's a Frey. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is an Endure deck, because it was like a Freljord with Shadow Isles. I was like, okay, this is Endure, I guess. And then he threw down his like so Babylon, or which is Babylon Bjork is always going to draw a Snapvine, because obviously now it's got the plus which is like was buffed to 5 attack.
Yep.
Yeah, and then boom, you throw that out. You throw out Haunted Relic on that. Boom. That's now 3 Snapvines that have got 5 damage each, just for 1. And the devastatingness of it is that the deck actually runs what's his face? The deck runs Ruination and Harrowing. So you Ruination the board, and then you Harrowing, and even if you're not bringing back all Snapvines, all you got to do is bring back like one Snapvine, and if the other things are anything else, the Snapvine kills them all and turns them into Snapvines, but they don't have the ephemeralness because they've been created like off of the Snapvines, even though they started with ephemeral.
One of them would be ephemeral, right?
Yeah, one of them's ephemeral, but what I mean is, normally when you go into a Harrowing move, like, you know, if you're building a board full of them, they're only going to be for that turn, if you know what I mean, because they're going to have ephemeral. But like with that, because of the Snapvines, so you've actually got for the next turn defensively. But the fact that he's also running Pack Mentality and Iceborne Legacy.
Iceborne
Legacy on top. So even throwing 1 Iceborne Legacy, that then becomes a 7/5. A 7/5 is what every single one of those Snapvines is becoming. And as I said, you're running things like Curse Keeper and Aristocrat, which are good early game, but they're also good late game, because both of them is throw a card down and you're getting 2 Snapvines for the price of 1 card. So you can build a board really quickly with it, and then, as I said, Pack Mentality or whatever. It's I don't know. I'm just loving Snapvine at this moment in time. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm saying.
It sounds
Nobody
pretty
here
crazy.
is faulting you, dude. We are on board with you here.
Facts.
Yeah, but that Crazy Killer, devastating deck. I'm not gonna lie, because it looks like I played against him because he jeweled me on stream, and then I was just like, oh man, you gotta send me that deck. You got once he beat me and destroyed me and made me look like a fool on stream. I was like, you gotta send me that deck, man. I like that. I like the way that you killed me.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Exactly. So
yeah.
gotta say, I did like that. It's been harder this week to actually decide on something that I've not liked playing against, because it's because as I was saying to Swerve earlier, because the widget ladder is so like diverse now with like loads of people playing things. It's not like there's a singular card that's like every single time I'm playing against this, like because it's so diverse at this moment in time. I'm always like basically going against something different. So it's been really hard to decide what my least favorite card this week has been. But I'm going to just go with Riposte, because literally I have seen that a couple of times, because there's been a few people playing Fiora and there's been a few people playing Shen decks, and so Riposte, the barrier and the +3 attack has been devastating. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm actually gonna go with Riposte has been my least favorite. I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm not saying that it's it's just that I think that's the one that's given me the most annoyance this week. Is just which you go into an attack, you think that it's all good, then Riposte comes out and it's like, or like I don't know, like, late game, the Riposte into Judgment. It's just such unexpectedness. So
how dare you?
Exactly. What gives you the right? Especially seeing that that's like 12 mana, so it is, which it's like they've been waiting for that. They've been holding that back for this like years. You weren't expect like you look at it and go, okay, right, he's playing Demacia. He might have Judgment, but you know what? He can't kill everyone. There's something Riposte Judgment. Like, you swine. But yeah, no. So it's a good card. Not gonna deny that. But yeah, I think that's the one that's given me a bit of grief this week.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But as I said, it's been a lot. It's been very diverse. It's been very diverse this week, so it's been hard to say. Like, whereas like obviously before, when the meta is a certain way, and it's like literally just everyone's playing the same deck, that you could be like, okay, right, this is what I've been coming against a lot this week. It's been very annoying, but yeah, no, not too much this week. Not too much.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on to next week now, though. Cause
next week on Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, will planet Namek blow up in 5 minutes? 5 minutes, and then goes on for like 20 episodes. Freezy, you silly son of a bitch! Why can't you count?
Next week, in the real world, we are going to have our monthly special guest, and our special guest next week is going to be Wonder Mellow. I've been checking out some of her content. She seems great. She plays a lot of TFT. She plays a lot of Runeterra, and she's going to come and join us and talk about this card game, not Hearthstone.
You hear that, Gomez? You hear that?
I always slip in a bit of Hearthstone. Don't worry about that.
Listen, Gomez.
Hey.
Oh my God, yo,
yeah, there you are. It happened.
No hard.
But to be fair, Wonder Mellow, very good streamer. I've seen a couple of her streams and some of her YouTube content as well. It's really good stuff.
Yep. I'm excited to bring her on here and have a nice discussion about
a nice chat about Hearthstone.
Yeah, I want to hear how she feels about a lot of the different cards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'd be good to get an opinion.
Yeah, I believe for those that tune in to the live recordings of this on my Twitch and We the People's Twitch, I believe that we're gonna be doing it Saturday around this time. Right?
Go man, you good for Saturday?
I should be, hopefully, maybe one day.
If he can survive till then.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we should be recording it next Saturday. Around we usually get on around like 8, between 8 and 8:30. Usually we get on to start recording. So
yeah.
Hopefully... And speaking of YouTube content, I'm gonna be jumping into the arena.
The arena.
Toss the hat in.
Exactly.
Your hair isn't even that bad.
No, I got it cut, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yo, you've been hiding it, and your hair isn't even bad. It's not even bad.
So we're waiting on with people to give me the animated version of myself, which I do believe it's coming soon, right?
Yes.
Soon, TM.
Yes. It should be done by before our podcast airs next week.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. It'll be a Runeterra centric YouTube channel, and I'm very excited to be diversifying my life even further.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Welcome to the arena.
But you guys got to check out.
Kato's been waiting for you. Anyway,
I'm waiting at the door, fam.
Everybody that sees this obviously is, they're gonna see We the People's YouTube content, and they got to check out more of that. And Lana, Mr. Gomez, you got some great YouTube stuff, man.
Oh my! Did you see his?
I don't even know what it is.
That Lee Sin meme. Oh my! Just kicks him straight into the sun. Oh my!
Yep. I mean, that's what he does, man. That's what he does. I mean, dear, I don't think you realize how long it takes me to try and work out what the fuck I'm going to do with those memes. Like, in terms of thinking, okay, quickly, gotta figure the situation. Gotta think of something where it works. Come on. I mean, the brain keeps going like to an insane degree.
No, you do.
Obviously, I haven't been able to do it as much lately because of work and whatnot. Whereas like before, I was getting out quite a lot of them because I was in like the 6 weeks holiday, so I had more time. But soon, more time will be coming, and that means that Gomez gets more time to fix out his memes and gets to make more of them. Soon!
Nah, bro.
Soon!
Keep the memes coming. Keep them coming.
Oh yeah.
I just be at work dying of laughter. we just be like, wait, he just upload something? I just watch it. I'll be like, oh my goodness, this dude.
Yeah.
Alright. But yeah, I'm gonna leave everybody's link below for the YouTube people as usual. I'm gonna leave everybody's link below. But yeah, I mean, didn't we cover everything? Let me see.
I think so, maybe.
Well, how many times did we talk about Hearthstone? Did we talk?
Oh my god, it's like Hearthstone tracker.
Yeah, I know. Did we talk about Hearthstone 14 times yet? Because
I mean, what we need to have is we need to have like instead of like a ding, it's the Oofa. Well met.
Oh yeah,
Oofa, you son
what?
of a bitch.
You know what? I was thinking about doing that. Be like, well met.
Yes, well met. A lot.
But no, we don't.
Oofa, you silly son of a bitch. I mean, getting into Warcraft lore. I mean, all you had to do is trust Arthas. That's all I'm saying. Because I mean, Arthas was like, purge the town, and he was like, no, we can't do that. We're paladins. But he's like, the disease is in there, mate. Deal with it. I mean, admitted, okay, Arthas didn't treat the situation. He could have done a lot better. We're talking Warcraft lore here. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is that Arthas could have dealt with the situation better, but also, Oofa, you silly son of a bitch. We just listen. Arthas wouldn't have had to go all the way to fucking, like, you know, the cold town and get himself some frozen Frostmourne dark rune shit that then corrupted his mind, you know.
Are you done yet?
Okay, I'm done.
No, how did we do that? How did we go from like, hey, we'll see you guys next week to like Dr. Phil's version of fucking World of Warcraft? Like, you really could have handled that situation better, Arthas. Like, do you have any regrets?
That's all I'm saying. I mean,
do you have any regrets, Arthas? Can we discuss your feelings on
can we just say about, like, you know, how much like Muradin actually put up with as well, the dwarf guy, in terms of the fact that he meets Arthas there. Arthas hires all of these mercenaries to burn the boats, and then suddenly, like, the funny thing is, they come through the trees, and like all of the Alliance guys, and they see like Arthur standing there with the mercenaries he just hired to burn the boats, and Arthur's like, those bastards, they burn our boats, kill them! And then like they're like, not one of them's thinking, wait a minute, Arthur, what are you doing over here? Why aren't you back at what were you doing with these guys? He's like, no, kill them! And he kills the mercenaries who actually helped him out. Then Muradin gets really pissed off at the situation. It's like, why you just betrayed the mercenaries who fought for you anyway?
He's just trolling you at this point. He's just 100% trolling you at this point.
Just cut.
He's just juicy emote every second. He's just juicy.
I've got opinions on the matter. Okay, I got opinions on the. Warcraft 3, play the game. Yes.
But all right.
You done? You done?
So
I mean, at the moment I'm done. Maybe.
Okay. Have a great week, everybody.
so we'll be back next week. Same time, same place, with this wonderful character over here. Nah, it was amazing though. So, but yeah, we'll be back next week, and everybody enjoy your week. Don't forget to watch the podcast is gonna be aired on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, that's about it. So.